Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Hope you're okay today, doing well, wherever you are in this crazy world of ours. We're into 2021 now. It's exciting. There's so much going on, but my goodness, life is just complex, isn't it? But I hope that you're doing okay. And one of the things that we're talking about here on 60andMe, and we do cover a wide range of topics from wellness and nutrition to health and well-being. We talk about downsizing, fashion and beauty. I do makeup tutorials, talk about retirement, about finances, lots and lots of topics. And I think that as many of us still in lockdown or in some kind of, just a more controlled environment, one of the things that we're really, really focused on is staying healthy, of course, but how to do that by the food that we eat. And I think there's an incredible power in nutrition that I just want to chat with you about today and give you some ideas. Now, I know that over the last year, we've all got very creative about cooking. And I know we've all gone through the phase of cooking, pastry and breads and all these cool things that, are easy to eat and full of sugar. But I think at one point, I settled down and started cooking, good foods from scratch with as many natural ingredients as I could. And I was used to, in the last few years, going out shopping almost every day for food, getting fresh vegetables and things every day. But now I'm having to stock up and just have things delivered, and like many of you, just be creative. But there are some ways we can do this, and there's so many places now that you can order food delivered to you, like fresh food, vegetables and things that are going to make all the difference, because that is actually the bottom line, isn't it? Eating healthier, natural, fresh foods. But Peg Doyle, who is actually an expert in this, this is her business of healthy living. She is one of our bloggers, and she wrote this article on the immense value of quality nutrition. Yes, you want to have snacks, and she talks a little bit about a strategy for how to incorporate them and fun things, chocolates and so on. Guilty as charged, but the whole thing is also now is the time to kind of re-enter a new world and to do it in a way that is going to be continue to be healthy. Now, I think many of you are still in some kind of a lockdown. This is January that this is being recorded, but a lot of people are starting to get out a little bit, and maybe that's a good thing. But we've got to continue to be true to our bodies. We are what we put in our bodies, right? And we have to remember all the lessons that we learned the last few months, this last year. And doesn't it seem strange to say that, this last year, and stick with it. So the power of quality food. Food is what we eat is what we become. And there are some basic categories that I think we need to think about. And this is all going to sound like, oh yeah, of course I know this, Margaret, but maybe you've got some ideas too that you can give me that we can share with everybody else. Now, fruits, of course, are for me, I love fruit. I love apples. And I never realized actually how healthy apples are. And the apple a day keeps the doctor away sort of thing. It really is true. And Peg's article, which I will link to so you can read it all, she says, one apple has 1,100 phytonutrients. And I think those are just like nutrients, like vitamins and fiber, for example. Fiber, vitamin C. I never thought about it, but I just discovered, what's the brand? Jazz apples. When I lived in the States, Honeycrisp was my favorite apple of all time, but I can't get them here. So you people that can get Honeycrisps, I'm jealous. But apples, just literally eat an apple a day. Why not? I mean, yes, it's probably got a bit of sugar in it, but I just love it. And I sometimes, Peg talks about, I'll talk about it in a sec, but doing this 90% healthy food and then 10% little snacks. I actually have a passion, as many of you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, is salted caramels. So I have a little bag of salted caramels, and I sometimes take one caramel and one apple. I figure that's a good balance. I nibble the caramel while I eat the apple. Is that fair? I think that's okay, Peg. But, the point here is not to starve yourself, not to deprive yourself, but apples are good. Blueberries, did you know that they nourish your brain? They've got loads and loads of antioxidants. They've also got a lot of carbs. So beware when you're guzzling your blueberries that you're also eating a lot of carbohydrates. So that's the thing about fruit in general and foods in general. They've got hidden things. Grapefruit's really helpful and healthy. Pineapple is super good for you. And you can check these in Peg's article. She goes into a lot more detail. I haven't had a grapefruit in years. I should probably try that. But pineapple's great. And then don't forget the fruits that are really good healthy fats, like avocado. I have trouble with avocado because I can't seem to find, a good avocado anymore. I mean, they're you got to really look for the good quality, and that's where you go to the markets as opposed to places where, if you can, where it's all been brought in from somewhere else. And shopping local is just something else that Peg talks about a lot. Fish. Okay, so fish I love. I'm not a meat eater unless someone prepares me a meal with meat that they didn't know I didn't eat meat and prepare it with love. I will eat it. I'm not neurotic about it, but fish is my thing. I love fish. I just feel like I can relate to fish, like in the sense that, they're little things, and some of them aren't. I guess tuna's not small, and salmon, but there's kind of, well, in my mind, I'm okay with fish. They're a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, and that vitamins D and B6, I think, or B2, D3 and B2. Vitamin D, well, we all know this. We've all been reading what's good to be taking during this pandemic. And vitamin D is like super important, and the B vitamins too for stress and nerve function. So it's really, really good. Wild salmon is super. It's got selenium, potassium, vitamin B12, which is another vitamin that's really good for your brain. And the more oily the fish, the healthier they are for you. So if you could eat sardines or mackerel, those types of fish, anchovies, you've probably got your favorites too. But and please, while I'm doing this chatting, these are just chats for us to compare notes. Please leave your comments as well on your favorite foods that you have found to be highly nutritious, nutrient rich. Another thing are summer vegetables, and even if it's winter, you can get a lot of these things, like, for example, cucumbers, which I didn't even know had potassium and magnesium in them. And I need magnesium. I think a lot of us do. I get cramps in my legs sometimes, and magnesium is great for that, but potassium too. Cucumbers. Who would have thought? A rainbow of colors is always a thing. Green peppers, orange peppers, red, cucumbers and sweet potatoes. Mushrooms are good. They've got lots of riboflavin and niacin. And I'm saying these words, and I know because I've done some research that these are all things that are recommended. And it's not even like you have to take a supplement. These are just Mother Nature giving them to you in mushrooms, cucumbers, all these, the abundance of minerals and vitamins. So don't neglect vegetables, and some of these are super tasty. And then broad beans, I think, is in that category too. They're like iron, potassium, lots of cool vitamins. So another thing is fresh whole grains. I think there's so much variety now in terms of, is it quinoa and lentils and things that are, again, some of them are carbohydrate rich, but they are super nutritious for you. And instead of just having a plain old ordinary salad, why not put some barley in the salad, or quinoa? Just do something that's going to make it more than just lettuce and tomato. And the whole grain is the one you want to look for. And I think in general, I'm just preaching to the choir here. I know that processed foods are just not that good for you. But, if you have to have a little bit of something a little unhealthy, Peg's okay with that too. Just do it. Nuts and seeds are my absolute favorite. I know they're a little high in calories, but if you grab a handful of nuts rather than a handful of candy or chocolate, you're in better position. I tend, every other day, I will have a granola for breakfast, and there's one I buy which has got low sugar, and I mix nuts in there with it. Like I crush up, I literally crush the nuts, like Brazil nuts, walnuts, pecans. I just take like a kitchen towel and I just hit them with the rolling pin, so that I'm not eating a whole nut. I'm eating like the crushed nut, which is, I put that into the muesli with a bit of milk or yogurt and some fruit maybe. And then every other day I have an egg. So it's just finding things that are high protein, the muesli is a little bit of a treat because that is pretty high calorie, but I still like it. And it's a balance, isn't it? It's all about balance. So by the way, Brazil nuts are a great source of selenium. Is that how you pronounce it? Selenium? And literally 3 Brazil nuts are all the selenium you need in a day. And apparently that's a wonder vitamin. So it's really good for your brain health and other things too. So is that cool? Macadamias, they're amazing. I don't eat too many. They're really fattening in the sense that if you eat like 20 of them, that's a lot. But macadamias, if you're on a keto diet or something like that, they're lifesavers. And cashews, I don't like myself, but they're good. The main point here is nutrition is preventative. It prevents illness, and that's what we want right now. We want food to energize us and to give us nutrition, but we want it to give us that immune system benefit, so that our immune systems are constantly being replenished and strengthened. The thing about this nutrition formula is 90% of healthy food, and then 10% of, gummy bears, jelly beans, chocolate, whatever you like, ice cream. But the whole thing about eating too is it needs to be something a little bit social. And if you can't get together with people, make your meals special. Just light a little candle, sit down and enjoy it in a social way. Shop local if you can, because that's giving, you are connecting with the person, the farmer, or the people that are bringing your foods to the shops. And, just discover and experiment with some of take your social connection with food to other generations and to other places. Indian spices, for example, things like turmeric and cumin and those types of things, ginger products are really, really good for you. Learn from other people. I think it's really, really important. So what are you doing to prevent yourself from getting sick this season and staying strong during this pandemic? What kind of foods are you eating? Please share with us. We really need some help here. All of us need some inspiration. So just leave the comments in the section below. And again, if you like this video and you found it useful, please subscribe. Just click the like button and click subscribe and the notification bell, because that will tell you when my videos are launched on YouTube, because I don't do it on Facebook anymore, just on YouTube. Okay, everybody, well, have a fabulous day wherever you are. Take good care of yourself, and let's talk about nutritious foods that you're enjoying. Okay, take good care, everyone. All right, bye-bye for now.